robbed me with a carrot in my mouth.
This is Carrot in His Mouth, Gabriel, with Grad Lads. This is kind of a introductory, post-scripted, short little podcast.
Chomp, chomp.
Where we can kind of introduce basically what we were aiming for with this project and maybe some things to expect or some maybe to explain. I guess first of all is that we are amateurs at this, quite literally. So we've kind of fumbled our way through it, and if it doesn't sound super professional, then that's why, but hopefully, you can get maybe something out of it. If not, this will also be posted, I guess, with our some emails. So if you feel like emailing any questions, we may eventually return to this in a couple months too. If we get some questions, or we just feel like posting some new topics,
or if we find new guests to bring on,
and if you just generally need contact if you need contact information for one of our guests that we've had on here. I guess as far as technicalities go, you will probably hear we're using a room mic, so there is a general whirring, which is the AC unit, which is just going to sound like a ubiquitous hum.
You might also hear a lot of chair creaking. All the chairs in the office here I have taken from the English department dump, which is right outside my office door. So these are all everyone else's cast-off chairs.
But they are cozy, old office chairs.
Yes.
So they're padded. There's a full-on recliner with a quilt.
Yeah, that just showed up right on top of the pile. I dragged it in here. So if you hear lots of creaking and that sort of thing, that's that's the reason for that. We had some really good guests. I would say listen, if you only have time to listen to a couple of these episodes, listen to the episodes with our guests. They're incredible.
Yes.
Generally, we were trying to keep to science fiction across all kinds of genres. And Sam had originally thought of this in our rhetoric, classical rhetoric course where we talked about, with Dr. Richardson, who you'll hear is one of our guests, where we talked about orthodoxy and heresy as this line that gets drawn within discourses. And we originally thought we would talk more about that. We talked some, and very fruitfully, I think.
We generally try to include it at least in some aspect of every episode, I think, at least in some cursory way. But really it's just kind of jumping off point for us to start investigating the dialectic that may or may not occur in whatever subject we were approaching.
Yeah.
It was basically our main through line. I think what we're trying to do as well is put up a general bibliography of sources or people or whatever we may have mentioned or has been mentioned on the show. We'll try to include that on the site as well, along with a brief description of maybe what the episode is about. Yeah, we cover quite a lot. Everything from mad scientists and monsters to role-playing Dungeons and Dragons, which we do in this very room in these comfy chairs.
We also had, I would point out, there's a really long digression in the episode with Jason Carroll about Reservoir Dogs and role-playing players in different RPGs. And if there's one segment that I say you should probably listen to in the entire podcast, that's the one. It's great.
It's pretty stellar.
With a close second being Richardson's digression on music, because that just went into all kinds of beautiful and strange places.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Any other highlights you want to point out? Direct people towards things they should keep in mind while they're listening.
Yes, keep in mind that we also doing this right after a 4-hour seminar over the summer. So there are some days where you can obviously tell that one or the both of us are a little brain dead. I'm speaking for myself, actually. But generally, we just tried to have a good time. We were maybe a little more nervous about the first couple of episodes. Just speaking in front of Mike to an unseen audience is strange. So that took us a little getting used to, so maybe bear with us. Like I said, we're not professionals. But I think that they got a lot better. I think that we generally got more comfortable, definitely towards the end of the episodes.
Yeah, I agree.
So hopefully this is something that we can maybe revisit a couple more times and do some special episodes here and there.
Yeah, we've got another semester while you're still here at UTA.
It's true.
It's enough time to record a couple more.
And there's no shortage of material out there in the world to talk about.
Absolutely.
So,
all right. Well, we certainly enjoyed it as much as we had no clue what we were trying to do. And we hope you enjoyed as well. So thanks for listening to the Grad Lads podcast. And this is the first case, the case of the mysterious whirring and creaking noises.